Hey guys, we're back with another Storm video. The last one got like a lot of support. Thank you guys. It's a lot of support for my standards at least. I got a couple really nice comments asking for more in-depth guides. And I'm now ready to make another one. A couple things to go over real quick. I played in a 1K on Sunday, which was a couple days ago. I actually was going to play Storm, and then I chickened out and played Primetime. And my chickening outing, my cowardice, one could say, cost me some games. I tested Primetime a little bit over the weekend to get ready for the event, and then ended up beating a bad matchup and losing to three okay matchups. A lot of main deck hate was coming out for them artifacts. Skyclave Apparition really got me a game one against a random deck. It wasn't very fun, but I was doing more thinking also, and I realized that the reason I'm playing this deck first off is because these cards suck. They really do. These cards are bad Magic cards. We don't need them. Who needs them? We're going to play some Storm. Yes, those are real. Yes, I threw them on the ground. Yes, I'm going to pick those up because they're worth too much money. Let's start going over some Storm lines. Let's move this webcam here so you can see this beautiful Opt playmat, which used to be a card in Storm, as we all know. Or none all know. Okay, I hope that sets this good with everyone. Let's move this a little bit more. Make a little bit more room. Move this. Do a whole lot of moving. Let's actually go pick those up. They're in sleeves. They're in sleeves. I don't damage cards. I just throw them. Let's put them back. All right. So a big thing I was asked for was a more in-depth guide of how to play against hate. So we're going to play. I'm gonna first go over a couple lines against hate, what we're gonna do, and then I'm gonna go over again, like I did in the last video, a bunch more hands with Gift Storm. This is the same Gift Storm list as last video, the exact same. If you want to take a look at the list, which I think is the best list, check out my last video. Now, we're going to first go over some hate. I don't need to look at the cards. Alright, first thing, Graveyard Hate. Alright, Graveyard Hate is a thing that almost every single deck you will play against in Modern will have for you. They will have it in their sideboard, and they will come in against you as long as they know how to play Magic the Gathering, which we'd hope they do. Alright, now, our ways against Graveyard Hate differ based on what the Graveyard Hate is. If we are playing against hard Graveyard Hate, which means something like Rest in Peace, Leyline of the Void, that will stay on the board, that is our worst matchup. Our absolute worst matchup. Why did my... There's our absolute worst thing to play against, like Blue Eye Control, and we have very little outs against that. Now, I'm gonna quickly go over a couple of what some of the outs might be. Hold up, I need to fix this. Is this seriously the best it's going to get? How did I make it so good? Okay, this is going to be good. Alright. Let's quickly go over a couple outs to hard Graveyard Hate. Now, because it's not on a creature, we're not talking about Dauthi Voidwalk, we're talking about Rest in Peace, Land of the Void, enchantments, not artifacts, just enchantments, alright? Our basically only out will be to Wish, cast Wish. This is those types of decks. Ideally, if they're playing Rest in Peace, they're playing a Blue Eye Control list, which means they're not really going to put much of a clock on us, which means our out is to get Echoing Truth from the sideboard. We also let it be known that if this will be game 1 or 2. There might be reason to okay. First off, we do spend a lot of time in the early game dirtling, right? We're just drawing and we're digging from our sideboard, which means that we can hold up counterspells for the first bunch of turns of the game. Which means that these Mystical Disputes will come in clutch. I know it's Rest in Peace is white. Leyline will be free sometimes. We want to counter the Rest in Peace. So if we're not going to win, we always hold up Counterspell Magic. That should be known. Let's say they leylined. We can't deal with it. The best way to deal with it is going to be Echoing Truth. And the way we're going to get Echoing Truth is by Wish Echoing Truth. The problem is Wish is a sorcery, and it says you must play it that turn. And this is a bounce spell, right? They can probably just play it back again. If they can play it back in, so we're going into the worst case scenario. They resolved an enchantment hard Graveyard Hate spell against us. Let's say it's Rest in Peace. We couldn't counter it. It resolved. It exiled our graveyard. Now we have to figure out a way to deal with it. We have a Wish in hand. We have to Durdle for a while. We have to ramp. So what you're going to start doing is you're going to start going Gifts Ungiven and reveal 4 cards. You're going to Gifts Ungiven for 4 cards. You're going to get maybe a land in one of those 4 cards. You want to hit your land drops, okay? You're going to be Durdling. You're going to be finding Echoing Truth. Now, there's one other way to win. You can actually still win the game through most Graveyard Hate because Wish exists. Now, if they, let's say they tap out, let's say they hard cast Leyline of the Void on turn 4. Right? They're tapping off Leyline of the Void. We can't do anything to that. We're going to say, okay, that's going to resolve. All right? We have enough rituals. We can resolve a bear, resolve a bunch of rituals, a Wish, and an Empty the Warrens. We can resolve... Wish makes this deck... Oh my god, Wish... One of the best cards for this deck. We can... We can go... we can... If we're like going for the bear and the rituals, we can go bear, like, 1 writ. If we have enough mana, obviously. We can go bear, like, 1 writ, Wish, Echoing Truth, writ, like, we can, if we bounce this and then we have a pass in hand, we can do that too, or another Wish in hand. It's a lot about the mini value. So we're not going to get Grapeshot off of our Wishes against Graveyard Hate most of the time. We're going to get things like Empty the Warrens and Echoing Truth. That's basically what we're going to do. That is definitely, like, worst case scenario. That will be the bane of you. If you have the option to counter a Graveyard Hate piece, you have to do it almost every single time. Now, let's go over to other types of Graveyard Hate. Let's specifically go over creatures. Creature Hate in general, I think, should be a good one. Which will be like Dauthi Voidwalker, which will exile a graveyard for as long as it stays. What's the name of that card? Meddling Mage. Spells like Meddling Mage, artifacts like Chalice. How do we deal with those? Now, again, this is most of our ways of dealing with this are going to be from our board, where we're either boarding it in or we're going to get it from our board with Wish. Against Creature Hate, we board in these 3 bolts. That's what we do. We boarded 3 bolts. Sometimes, depending on what you can board out, you might only want to board in 2. Boarding in 2 leaves Lightning Bolt, another bolt in your sideboard for Wish. Although that's not necessary because we have a Braid here, and a Braid is so diverse at being able to either kill a creature or kill an artifact. That's another reason why it's in our Wish board. So that's another thing. Against Creature Hate, we board in bolts. Against Hammer Time, we board in bolts. Against a combo deck based around a creature that can be bolted, we'll board in bolts just to stay alive. But against the hate pieces like Meddling Mage, Voidwalker, we board in bolts. All right, we need to deal with that. We can wish out in a Braid. We can wish out a bolt. Against things like Chalice, artifact, hate pieces, we do have to go wish a Braid. It is so painful. It is what it is. We can wish Echoing Truth if that makes any difference. Don't see why it would. Those are both lines. Now, let's go over one-time Graveyard Hate, like Endurance, Nihil Spellbomb, all the things that just like Tormod's Crypt, Relic of Progenitus, these are the most common pieces of Graveyard Hate that you will see in the format. So this is the best thing to know how to play around. I'm going to real quick separate our board from our Wish board. Okay, there's the board. This is the Wish board. Let's move these up a little bit. Our board is 3 bolts, 3 mystical disputes, 2 pieces, and 1 empty. Our Wish board will be 6 different cards. Echoing Truth, a Braid, Galvanic Relay, Pass in Flames, Grapeshot, and an Empty the Warrens. There are 2 in this sideboard. Do never board both of them in, unless you are boarding out Wish for reasons that would escape me. The reason that there's 2 is for 1 to come in for gifts, and the other one to be out for Wish. That's why we have 2. All right. Now, I was gonna say, single Graveyard Hate. Okay, when you see, let's say they project that they have the Graveyard Hate, right? They play Nihil Spellbomb, right? They have Mana Act. I think it's just a tap sack, but they can activate it. They pass turn. Okay, you look down at a hand that can combo off through a removal spell. All right, you look at a hand like a Brawl and a bunch of Writs and a Past in Flames or any Gifts, something like that. All right, now you will go, you want to Writ as little as possible, like in this situation. You want to go like Bear, Writ, or however many Writs it takes you, and then put Pass in Flames on the stack. You want to put your Pass in Flames or your Gifts Ungiven to get Pass in Flames and then Pass in Flames on the stack as fast as possible. Put as few cards from your hand into your graveyard as possible. Now, in response to your Past in Flames, your opponent will almost always crack this exile spell. If they don't, they're probably gonna lose the game anyway. They just lose from you casting all their stuff from your graveyard. They have to do it in response to Past in Flames. Now, the way we're gonna play around this, there are multiple ways. First off, if we've played as few Rits as possible, ideally we'll have like 4 or 5 more mana left in our pool with our bear. We can go like Rit. We'll have 4 or 5 more mana like worth of cards in our hand that we can like get up to that much mana. So we can go like Rit, Wish Past. We can go Rit. You can also real quick. You can also, this is something that people really don't notice, is that when I put Past in Flames, not specifically this one, but when I put any Past in Flames on the stack, and they put Graveyard Hate in response to it, right? The Graveyard Hate will resolve. Let's say this imaginary hand is the Graveyard Hate. It resolves. We lose our graveyard, right? This is still in the stack. Okay, we can hold priority with this on the stack, and then play the rest of our Rits, and almost no one notices it unless this is flashback. If this is flashback, there's no point. Actually, there is a point. Sorry, if this card's on the stack from being flashback or not, they exile our graveyard. In response, we let that resolve. We hold priority. We cast the rest of our Rits and our spells, and then we let this resolve, and everything in our graveyard gets flashback, which is one of the best ways to play around Graveyard Hate is to Past in Flames as early as possible. Watch them attempt to hate your graveyard. Let the Graveyard Hate resolve. Let's say your whole graveyard gets exiled. Then with this Past on the stack, cast the rest of your Rits, your Morphos, and then you can you'll have Grape Shot, you have Wish, you have a Finisher, you have Gifts Ungiven. Whatever you have, you can win the game with that because they no longer have the hate piece. And that's one of the best ways to play against that. Now, this deck's basically worst matchup. I want to turn on my volume a little bit. I've probably been yelling. This deck's basically the worst matchup is the red-black deck, similar to the style of the one that won MTG Las Vegas. That deck plays main deck Voidwalkers to hit our graveyard, and main deck Hand Destruction. Which leads me to the next segment, Hand Destruction. How does this deck play around Hand Destruction? Now, in Game 1, when we realize that our opponent is playing Thoughtseize and whatnot, we will never play our bears. Now, I think in the last video I said if we have multiple bears in our hand, we can play a bear. As long as we keep one in our hand, we can play a bear, make them spend mana to kill it, right? Against a deck playing Hand Destruction, you keep every single bear you have in your hand because you never know when they can just go, when you play let's say you have 2 bears, one in your hand, and you play the other one, right? Now you have one left in your hand, one on the board. They can go bolt, take the other bear, and then you're like in big trouble. Don't put yourself in that position. When you know they have hand hate, keep all your bears in your hand. When you know they have hand hate now, for the board, we want to board in pieces of the puzzle. When we play against basically any fair matchup that plays hand hate, any mid-range 1-for-1, Jund, red-black, even blue-eye control, any slow fair deck, like against the combo decks, obviously not, against any slow fair deck, basically these don't come in against like burn, prowess, and like combo, like prime time or the mirror. They come in against everything else, these pieces of the puzzle, because they refill your hand so well. So they just take, let's say they take gifts, you play this, you get another gifts, or Past in Flames, or whatever you need. These things are phenomenal. The reason we play them is for Hand Destruction and for their value. If you haven't read the pieces of the puzzle yet, you're wondering why it's here. Not only is it there for value, it also puts everything into the graveyard, so it's really nice with Past in Flames. But yeah, that's how we play against hand hate. We need to keep everything in our hand. One of the biggest strategies of playing this deck is don't play that last bear until you can combo off. Never just put your bear onto the board on turn 2 and be like, oh, if this bear sticks, I can win the game next turn. That's not going to happen. Okay, keep your bear in hand, play as conservatively and as tight as possible so that you can, when you're ready to combo off, when you have enough extra lands so that you can play around a removal spell, then you play your bear and you go for your combo. All right. Other pieces of hate removal. I went over in my last video. I went through a playthrough. There are multiple ways. There are a couple ways to play around removal. The best one is to, if you have 4 mana, you should only try to combo off when you can beat a removal spell. If they have it in their deck and they're untapped, obviously. But you should only be able to. You should only combo off when you can go when you have enough writs to add enough mana in response to them killing your Baral that you can cast what you need to cast. So you have 4 lands, right? You play a Baral, you go down to 2 untapped. You play a writ, you put a writ on the stack, you go to 1 untapped, right? You need to always have 1 mana basically in response to removal. If you have 3 lands and you go Baral, writ, and they try to kill in response, then you're screwed. You're just screwed. So because you won't get your red mana from your writ before they kill your Baral, so you won't be able to combo off. But if you have 1 red left floating, you'll be able to go writ, whatever gifts even as an instant in response to their removal spell. Then once you're done with everything you can play at instant speed, you let their removal spell resolve, you get your 3 more mana from that writ, don't forget that, and then you can pass in flames, do what you need. Another big thing, their spells count for your storm, so them removing a creature has actually won me a couple games where I'm like, I'm going to play this, but I'm like literally 1 storm off somehow. If they kill my creature, I'm going to win. I love those games where if they kill my creature, I'm going to win. If they don't kill my creature, I'm going to lose. It's phenomenal. Oh, that's my dog barking. Dogs do bark. He's probably mad at me because I play Storm. Okay. One big thing, a lot of gold fishing. I said it in my last video. I goldfish this deck constantly. I goldfish it with others who have played the deck just as much as I have. I figure out a lot of these lines from literally not playing with opponents. I play with myself with this deck. With the deck. I play myself with the deck. All right. Let's quickly go over a couple hands with the deck. I play in modern tournaments almost once a week, basically at least once a week now, to the point where I'm wondering if you guys would like. I have a Discord server that I don't really like post in. I'm not very active in it at all. What do you think about me starting a channel called like Storm and going over some of my best games, how I played them, and like what I learned from them, if I learned something, or what you can learn from them. I really love playing this deck. I love playing combo in general. I played Prime Time. I played this deck. I play Hardened Scales. I played a league with Hardened Scales last night. Oh my god, it'd been a while since I had done it, and dude, it was fun. Oops, we like flipped the card. Another thing I really quick want to go over. I know there are a couple people who like. This is Fetchless Storm. I know there's a couple people who like playing Storm with fetches. If you're wondering why this deck doesn't play fetches, one, it's not because I have it. You saw the Rag of Mana. I do play that Murktide list also. I have the fetches for it. The reason this deck doesn't play fetches is because it doesn't play Blood Moon, and we are a combo deck that does basically nothing for the first bunch of turns, so losing life is kind of painful. The reason it would play fetches is to play Blood Moon. That's literally why. If you look at lists and they're playing fetches, it's because if you look at their sideboard, they're playing Blood Moon. Arguably, Blood Moon is rather good right now. It beats the Prime Time. It kind of houses all these 4-color matchups. And if, like, you know, all these other matchups don't fetch properly, they will, like, kind of get got. But, yeah. I like not playing Blood Moon because it makes our combo a lot less linear. I don't really like boarding into anything that will not aid our combo in some way, basically. I know Bolt, you know how many times Bolt aids my combo? Bolt, if you Bolt them, like, let's say you're just, you know, you're going through your combo and you, like, pass in flames, and, oh, look, there's a Bolt in my graveyard on top, you know, with my, like, 3 writs or whatever. Bolt deals 3 damage and ticks you up 1 storm. So it really, like, allows you to just get there out of nowhere, like, especially with a Grape Shot. You know, I used to play Banefire on this list. Like, 2 years ago, I would play 1 copy of Banefire to dome them from the grave at any given moment for, like so much. Before Wish came out. Obviously, Wish is now better, and Banefire wasn't, like, tier 1 at all. So, but Wish, it was just so cool. It was like, gifts for... let's move this in the frame. Let's put this, like, right here. It's kind of awkward, but whatever. Yeah, let's go over some hands. Let's put ourselves on the play for this one so we get 1 less card. Where's the top of my deck? This is the top of my deck. All right. Play open-handed for you guys. Ooh. All right. I like this hand. We have a Bear, we have a Writ, a Morphos, a Wish, and a Consider. We have mana. This is not quite the nuts, but it is kind of close. We don't actually... There's a lot of games now where playing this deck with Wish means that you don't desperately need Gifts Ungiven. So there's like a thing on it. You don't desperately need Gifts Ungiven. And that's actually something really cool because Wish can get you to Pass in Flames. So if we put ourselves in a position... If our opponent ever taps out against this hand past like turn 3, they're going to lose. And And if they don't, we can probably like end up drawing into something. So we'll see. We have consider. We have some dig. Let's actually just like stack the cards right here for you guys. And let's go over it. We're on the play. We're going to play our Shivan Reef. We're going to pass right on their end step. We're going to lose a life. We're going to cast a consider. We're going to surveil here. This card. Okay, I like this card here because we have Wish. If we had a Gifts and Given, I'd probably still like this card. I just like this card, to be honest. I just like this card. It's good with Wish. It's good with the fact that we only have one ritual. This card we will keep on top and then draw for the consider. Where should our Great Red be? Our Great Red will be right. Our Great Red will be up here. This is gonna be a really weird situation. I do not play Magic like this, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna draw for our turn. We're gonna untap. Right, we cast consider. Let's put that here. Tap it with it. And we'll draw another Desperate Ritual. Sure, sometimes that happens. Let's get our mountain. I like that mountain art. I really do. I have the unstable one, mountains and islands in this deck because islands are beautiful. But this mountain art, oof. I don't know what about it. It's just like the spires here. This hand is gone to be like very okay now if we don't hit a lands. It's probably still the nuts. If we hit like land, it is like very, very good now. We're looking for a land here. We can't really do anything. Don't Manamorphose here. And if you have multiple Manamorphoses, maybe. We're not even gifting, so there is like an argument to throw the Manamorphose at like drawing a land. We should definitely draw a card first. Manamorphose is literally free. That's why it's so good. We will pass. They're going to do something. We're going to untap draw. That was a bad card. We don't really need Grape Shot in this situation. If we... See, here's the thing, guys. If we Manamorphose here and we hit a third land, we can beat them through a removal spell. I'm pretty sure. Because we're going to go Morphos, add blue-red. If we draw a land, we go Rit. We have 3 red and a blue. Then we cast Baral. We have 2 red. Cast another Rit. Yeah, I think we'll have them if we draw a land here. We are going to go for it, I think. We're going to Manamorphose. I'll show you why. We're going to Manamorphose, add blue-red, draw. Well, now it's the situation of, are we playing against hand hate? If we are not, we will cast our spell. We will just play Goblin Electromancer. It would feel really bad there to if they have hand hate, like, should we do this? I'm going to put on this because I would, like, cringe. Oh, God, this is, like, blinding, I'm sure. Sorry. Okay. Well, we'll play this. We'll pass. We're looking for a land here. That's not a land. This will be dead. Yikes. Alright. So, the reason, if you're thinking about it now, the reason I didn't go, like, Rit, or, like, Rit, Morphos there is just because it's so weak to removal. That technically is possible. If they tap out, you can technically go, like, Rit. Like, you can play all your Rits, or you can play, like... If you go, like, Rit, Morphos, like, add blue-red, then you have, like, blue-red, then you can go Baral and, like, go off, but that will just lose to a removal spell. We're going to sit here dirtling again. This is a pretty not great situation. There's a Gifts Ungiven, which we no longer have blue for. Alright, we're gonna pass. We're going to put ourselves on a 1-turn clock, which means that if we don't win with this draw, we will lose. Oof. Alright, we're going to see if we have lines here. So let's go over it. So we now have how many Rits? Jesus Christ. That's surveilling 1 Rit on the top there. Like a little, it kind of got us here. But we have quad Rit. And besides that, we have Gifts, Past, Grape Shot, Wish, Baral. So we're not really going to play Baral here. Dang, that Morphos. Oof. We went for the nuts. We didn't quite have it. And we don't have anything. This is not in our deck. This is our sideboard. Okay. So we can... If we go Rit, right? That'll get us up to 4 mana. Then we can, like, Rit splicing Rit. We go to 7 mana. So what we'll do here is now we have 6. We can cast. Now we have 4. Off these 2 Rits, we can cast Desperate Rit, splice this Desperate Rit onto it. So we go up to 6 red. Then we cast this, we go up to 7 red. With 7 red, we can... What's in our... Alright. So in this situation, it depends what we're being put on the clock by. But we can definitely go for, like, all these writs. That was the 7 red we said? Yeah, 7 red. We can... Galvanic, no, not the Galvanic will not win us on the spot. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I think we might have a Grape Shot line here. I'm just trying to count it out. So we have 4 Storm, right? If we Grape Shot, that's for 5. So we'll go to 5 mana. Past in Flames, 1 mana. Wait. Oh. No, we can't do that way. We have to go... Oh, yeah, okay. So we have to go, like, Wish. Alright. So basically what's going to happen here is we're going to be going Past in Flames, go down to 3 red, flashback all of these, go up to 4, 5, 6, 7 red again. We have 7 red and a good amount of Storm. We're going to go Wish, empty the warrens. Wait a second. How much Storm exactly? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. With 7 red? Oh. We just go Grape Shot, Wish, Grape Shot, and that's lethal. Yeah, because it's 10 and then 11. So yeah, so that's how we win games. So it took me forever to find that line. That was a very complicated one, considering the fact that wasn't very complicated when you see it, but it was kind of complicated to think out, considering the fact that we did not find the land there. So there are a lot of situations where, even in that, right, I didn't draw a land. I had 2 lands, right, and I didn't play my bear. But I was still able to win, just like on the spot. That's literally, gold fishing will get you here, guys. Gold fishing, literally where you have time and you will just think, like, I learned something teaching you guys, right? I now will have this in my memory. Well, that's upside down. I will now have this in my memory that I can do that. And I already kind of knew I could do that, but I knew it in that specific way. And just literally, the more you practice this deck, the less, like, slow you'll be. I really can't shuffle right now. I need to focus on shuffling. The more, like, efficient you'll be, and just all around the better Magic player and better Storm player that you will be. It's all about literally picking up this deck when you have spare moments, and I'm trying to, like, make it so I can't. I'm looking at my, like, the screen right now when I'm shuffling, and I can, like, kind of see the bottom card. Whatever. There's no point in cheating. We're playing for you guys. We're learning. There's obviously 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. I think this is the time. Yep. Mulligan. There are 5 lines in this hand. And we have Serum Visions, Desperate Ritual. And look, guys, a Desperate. Got that Fiery Islet. Gotta keep that now. No. We definitely mull. There was, like, no way we are going to do anything with that hand. The hand just does nothing. If they have hand destruction, they'll just pick it apart. If they have anything, they'll just pick us apart there. We need to draw so many cards. We need to draw, like, a Writ, a Morphos, a Gifts, and a Bear, or something like that, like a Wish and a Bear. Like, it's so just, like, not, like, coming together. So we'll go to 6. Let's put ourselves on the draw this time. I like when I goldfish, I go from the play and then the draw and then the play and then the draw. It's good at just practicing in different situations. In that last game, we had like, what did we draw that last turn? We didn't. Oh, maybe we drew Past Flame. So we kind of needed to draw what we drew. We could have gone a smaller Storm there, right? We could have just gone like Wish. We could have made like 12 goblins, I think it was, in the last game. which, like, if we needed to, like, earlier in the game, we could have done that. So, this hand's pretty good. This hand has... So, basically, when you look at your Storm hands, I've been doing this subconsciously without really explaining it. Look at your Storm hands, you're going to see, what do I need? Like, what am I missing from my hand? And what can get me there? All right? So, what we're missing from this hand, what we have in this hand, first off, is these cards. And lands, obviously. We need lands. That should be kind of second nature. What do we have for our combo, though? These cards. All right, what do we kind of want in this situation? We kind of want some rituals, right? We want a couple rituals. We need rituals to do this combo. We can get the pass with the gifts. That's not really what we need. We need rituals. All right, what can get us rituals? All right, this Consider and the Sylvan Divisions are cards that will get us rituals, right? These will dig for the rest of our combo. The rest of the hand is lands, which we obviously need. 2 lands is fine enough. I don't see... Okay, so we're going to keep these because we don't have extras. We need each one of these. So we need to get rid of one of these. We're going to keep our lands because they're lands, and we kind of need lands. What do we want to take out of these? It's almost always... If we know what we're playing, it's almost... If we don't know what we're playing, it's almost always Visions. If we know we're playing something more, like, slow... Like, see, here's the problem here, actually. We only have one creature. Visions can't get creatures. Oh, it's Vision. Vision can't get creatures. So if we know they have Hand Hate, we are going to keep the Consider. Like if we know we're playing against something we know against and we know they have Hand Hate, we're going to keep the Consider. There's really almost no situation where we want Vision here. We're going to get rid of Vision. Because, right, if we keep the Vision and we drop the Consider and then they just take out our Gobblomancer right away. So we're on the draw. We'll untap draw. And they take away our Goblin Electromancer, like, right away. Then, on their end step, we Consider. Then we will just, like, not be able to find it at all. I mean, Consider's not a big help, but it at least get... Oh, sorry, I forgot I moved my deck. Surreal. This is one of the cards we need, so we will draw it. Untap, draw for turn. There's a bear. So here's another situation where if we're playing against Hand Hate, we don't want to play the bear. Let's say we are. We'll play a tap Steam Vents, pass... Untap. There's some like stuff on my cards, dog. These are new sleeves. I got these new sleeves just for you guys. All right. If we're playing a hand instruction and it is turn 3, we are going to play a Baral because we don't need 3 creatures in our hand. What we need to do is give them something to spend mana on. Try and... Yeah, okay. This will die almost certainly. I don't know how I was putting it like this. We'll untap. We play a tap Siemens last turn. Ritual. Okay. So I'm just trying to go over like the line as to what happens if they go to kill my creature in response here. So with 3 mana, the only way to play against removal, we're gonna do this hypothetically. I don't know if I'm actually doing this. Is to go Writ first. So we're gonna cast a Writ. All right. We're gonna let Writ resolve. Right. We have our. Let's put it in over here. I'll just move it over here. Let's say it resolves. Now we cast Baral with our other mana. And we have 2 red floating. Okay? The reason we do this is to have 2 red floating instead of 1 floating. If we had just tapped our lands, 2 for Baral, 1 for Writ, we'd have no mana floating if they tried to kill our Baral. In this situation, now we'll go for Writ, giving them the prime opportunity to kill our Baral. If they do kill our Baral, right, this will go under it. So this Writ is already resolved. This one will be under the stack, right? So it won't resolve until Baral dies. And that's the reason why we want 2 mana untapped, is because we want 2 mana floating at least, or untapped or whatever. Because if we had 0 mana here, now they kill it and Baral dies, then we get our only mana left, and we basically can't win with this hand. Right, with the 3 mana. That doesn't do anything. We'll like Manamorphose. I guess we can go like, no, it won't do anything, is the answer. So we do this, so that we have another mana here to, in response, go Morphos, let Morphos resolve, draw. We can play this untapped, right? Now we have 2 mana. We can... I don't think we get this game anyway. Even if we go... So we'll have 2 mana plus this, re-gifts. We can get... They'll give us Morphos. We go up to... So we're at 0 mana. That's our biggest problem, is that we're down 1 Writ off. So we don't quite have the combo. Let's put this card back on the top of our deck. Let's leave these untapped. So basically, you want to be running through these things in your head. The best way to do this, actually, is literally just to practice. This is why I'm practicing more. I love practicing more. Is that I know these lines. So now that I know, this hand doesn't win through a removal spell. Obviously, we're never going to play, like, in almost every game you're goldfishing, you should never play like they don't have a removal spell. If they tap out, I'm just going to play Brawl, dump my hand. This game is quick. I just play Rit, Morphos, Gifts, get Pass and Flames. It's the generic combo with no hope, with no worries of interaction if they don't have like Endurance or Force of Negation or whatever. Force of Negation will house you. The only way to play around it is like counter spells from the board or Remand, which is a kind of weak way of playing around it because they can play it again for free. Alright, so we're going to pass. We know what we're drawing. Now we should have the ability to win because we don't have to Rit first. Yeah. So now we play this untapped. We go Brawl, right? Then we go red for Rit. They try to kill the Brawl. We put the Rit under the Brawl. Then we go red for Rit. Let Rit resolve. We go to 4 mana basically. This will go to 3. This will go up 1. We draw a card. Now that this has resolved, we have 4 mana. We're gonna go Gifts Ungiven. In response, we go down to 1 red floating. We're gonna get our generic pile, which is this is the standard gifts pile, guys. There's also so this is okay. Let's say we're put in a situation here where we're dead next turn. This is what we have to do, right? Obviously. Now, if we're put in a situation where we're not dead next turn, we want to Gifts on their end step. That'll basically guarantee us the win. I love putting myself in these hard positions, even with you guys. That is the entire point of teaching you. I can put myself in the easy positions. I can basically be like, look how good I am at Storm. Look, if they tap out, I win. Look, if they don't have any clock on me, I win. There's no point in doing that. I love going through all these hard, difficult lines, trying to figure out how do I win through X, Y, and Z. We can go through some lines about how to play against Graveyard Hate, although they'll be long. Like, I'll literally be sitting here being like, I draw a card, it's not a land, I pass. I draw a card, it's not a land, I pass. We also have to assume they have no clock on us. There's a lot of things we have to assume to beat, like Rest in Peace. It's a very difficult card to beat in general. We need to counter it, is almost always the answer. Or we need to just go for a small storm where like we can hopefully win with a bunch of goblins in like a later game because they boarded out Supreme Verdict. If they're black control or whatever they boarded out their board wipes, so we just kind of have to bash them to death with goblins. Alright, we're done shuffling. Don't know why I shuffled so long. I was talking. So the worst thing they can give you every single time is going to be this to hand. Most inexperienced players will not think this is the worst thing they can give you. But if they give you rituals, if they give me rituals here, I have a red floating. I'm going to go Rit, and then let this resolve, and then, like, win. Like, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to play like we got these to our hands. These go to grave. All right, let's... I forgot I moved my deck. Actually, I wonder if I can move my deck in the frame here. Hold on. Let me try and do a couple things. Let me move this. Move myself. All right. Move this. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, this is actually much better. I can put my graveyard where my graveyard is supposed to go. Alright, so this is on the stack. We have this with 1 red floating. We'll cast Morphos. Draw a card. We have 2 mana floating. Oh, that's nuts. Well, actually, not really at all. Not at all. I don't know why I said that. For a second there, I was like, yo, we have 2 mana. We can, like, repeal our Brawl. Woo! We have a Goblin answer, actually, anyway. So, in this situation, 2 mana. We'll go to 5. Ooh, so close to being able to just, like, completely destroy them. But we'll let this resolve. Right, we'll go to 5 here. We will... Oh, do we not have it? Oh, that's painful. We go to 5. Pass and Flames puts us to 1. We can't do anything. We play Goblin Electromancer. Puts us to 3. We cast Flames. We have nothing. Okay, wait, hold on. Our out here is having 2 blue mana. We cast Vision. We go to 1. Whoops. And then we dig 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 1 red floating. I I don't even know, actually. Whoops. I don't even know. Okay, we didn't hit it. That's painful. We can, like, get grape shot them. Grape shot. We can... Okay, so in this situation, if we fizzle like this, right, and we don't have wish, because let's say we misplayed, like in this situation, this is why we practice, right? Let's say we misplayed, like in this situation. What we're going to do is we're going to do what we can. So in this situation, it's going to be a grape shot. We're going to grape shot them with our last mana. We don't have enough storm to kill them. We know we don't have enough storm to kill them. We can kill their threats, deal a couple extra damage to them, put this in our stack of a graveyard, and then ideally win next turn with the Past in Flames. So now they no longer have a clock on us, right? They had one that made us combo off. We weren't able to do it. We did find, however, a grape shot. Now we able to like get rid of their clock. They play something else. They let us untap. We have Remand. Quick lesson: Remand and grape shot do not work together when grape shot is in the graveyard. If you're flashing it back, it goes to exile instead of your hand, no matter what. Sucks, but it is what it is. All right, Goblin Electromancer here. We're gonna cast Past in Flames. Right. We're going to go Rit, Morphos, Gifts. Like we've totally got this game. We just like throw out our hand. We like throw out this. We basically gifts and we get Wish. We already have Wish on our graveyard. We get like Wish and Wish, Morphos? I think it's something like that. Wish, Morphos, or Wish, Remand, so we can, like, play around counterspells, depending on what they have, or, like, hate. And then we whatever they put in our graveyard, it doesn't matter. We have so much mana, we'll pass, and they'll probably give us the Rits and put everything else in our graveyard. We'll go Rit, Pass in Flames, Flashback, Grape Shot, and Wish, Grape Shot them. It's pretty simple. That was kind of annoying that we weren't able to combo, but obviously I don't think that was a problem on our part. I think that was more of we put a clock on ourselves. We have to fulfill that clock. And yeah, that was good. This deck has so many. This deck is like surprisingly resilient. Like there's a lot of like. Okay, it depends what we're talking about, right? If we get Rest in Peace, we get Rest in Peace. It's literally us. Rest in peace to us. But if we get if we get Graveyard Hate, if we fizzle our combo and we don't even if we don't have the Galvanic Iteration there, that would have been a great spot to have Galvanic Iteration or something. Not really, actually. No, that would not have worked. But if we have a clock on ourselves, but like that was a good spot to have Wish, where we can like get a bunch of goblins, chump to keep ourselves alive, and then we have like 9-10 goblins we can probably just close out the game with, especially if they like don't exile our graveyard or kill our bear. So yeah, the deck is like surprisingly resilient to like being turned off, especially because like if it's more of like don't combo until you almost always have to. Don't combo until you have to in almost every situation. That seems like that's like almost always just the best line. Let's go back into our thing. Let's spread out what we have to draw us, what part of our combo we have. All right, here's what we have. We have 3 draw spells. That's a lot of draw spells. We have 1 land, 1 play, and we have a Rit, a Morphos, and a Gifts. Now, these are pretty nice, right? Now, basically, what we're going to be looking for is maybe another Rit, maybe a bear. We definitely want a bear, maybe another Rit, okay? When we have 1 land, we're not playing very many lands because we're playing a modern deck and we're playing a modern combo deck, but we have 3 ways of digging. I like this hand. Even on the play, I think this hand has immediate potential to be nuts and also just, like, probably fine. Like, we kind of also want lands. There aren't very many bad draws, especially in these first couple draws. I like looking at situations like that where it's like, how many bad draws do we have? If it's not a lot. Let's actually start to lay this out for you guys. We drew our man. That's like actually probably a bad draw. We'll scry 2. In this situation, we already have a Morphos, and we're looking for like other things. We'll like put Cement on the top of our deck, put Morphos on the bottom of our deck. Boom. We'll pass, untap, draw, play it. We'll go like consider. I'm assuming. Surveil. Ooh, I like topping that. We only have one ritual. We're going to need more rituals to play on removal. Top draw. Play the other consider. Surveil. Top draw because we need the bear. Now we're looking for our good old buddy lands. That's not one. One of the best things about Remand is that because we almost always win the game with a Past in Flames, you can Remand early on something to keep yourself alive because Remand can be cast from the graveyard in response to the Grave Shot as long as the Grave Shot's being cast from Wish or your hand. So we'll like just act like we Remanded their threat on a we Remanded whatever. We draw a card off the Remand. That's not good. We untap. We draw another card. There we go. Saved by the lands. In this situation, we do not quite have enough. As we learned from from Goldfishing a little bit earlier today, we do not quite have enough to win. So we will play the Brawl as long as we're not playing its hand hate. We'll just play the Brawl, let them kill it. We're basically giving them little victories. We're amending. We're doing stuff to just keep ourselves alive so we can storm without like being in a bad situation. All right, now this should be lethal. Let's go through it. I have a pad right here I was going to go over. If you're playing Storm, guys, you can do a bunch of cool things to count your Storm. If you're playing Storm in a big tournament, one of those amazing cool things you cannot do, or you definitely should not do. I don't know if it's could not anymore. But when I used to play, the reason I have this pad, actually, is because I wanted to play in a 1K. And I asked the judge, how should I count Storm the best? And the judge said, with a pad. Get one of these. This is like $15. It's literally like, I think if you have kids, like it's one of those pads where like they like drawing on them and then you just like boom. I've had this one for years. I've had this so much where if you write on this side where I used to write life totals, it's like all kind of like kind of bad. And if you write on this side, it's so clean because I've written so much over here. Anyway, this is phenomenal at counting Storm. Not phenomenal, but it is pretty good at counting Storm. We're gonna plop this right down in our thing here, and we're gonna do something like red, blue, Storm. Make like a table. Do our lines like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. One of them is red, one of them is blue, one of them is Storm. Brawl's one Storm. We're gonna put a Storm in the Storm counter, and we're gonna like tap for Firetic mana. We're going to take up our Storm. Let's say they attempt to kill Baral. Our Storm's going to go up one more. So we have this untapped land, no red floating, right? Because the ritual is now behind the killing of the Baral. I like doing this to show that the Baral is being like targeted. Now we're going to go, I don't know, it's kind of hidden. Do we have a card in there? No. Okay. So we're going to play Rit. Now our Storm is going to go up 1, 2, 3 red, 4 Storm. Desperate Ritual can resolve. Morphos, we go to 2. You have to cross out. It's like pretty bad the way that works. We just do a Past in Flames, did we? Nice. Okay. This is obviously, again, in these types of situations, if you're not put on a clock, this is a Gifts turn where you just pass on their end step, cast Gifts Ungiven, and combo off pretty easily. We don't want to put ourselves in those easy positions. I just want to keep reminding you that you should do that because if you have that option, just do it. I love gifting an end step. It's very powerful. There are a lot of games where I even go like ritual gifts on turn 3 just because I need something or I think I can win by doing this instead of doing it like next turn. It's just phenomenal. We'll go Morphos. Let's just go up 1 red. We net gain 1 red, go to 6 Storm. Draw. We drew a Brawl. That's not very useful. Now we need to count. We have 5 mana, right? We have 5 mana. If we Gifts Ungiven to 1, Gifts Ungiven to 2, sorry. We'll go to 2 mana. If they give us Morphos, we'll go up to 3 mana. Firetic Ritual resolve to 6. Then we can go Past in Flames, cast everything. Yes. So you basically need to have 6 after this Firetic Ritual resolves with your Past. We will cast Gifts here because it will give us a bunch more Storm. So we'll go down, we'll have up to 7 Storm, and let's leave a blue and a red floating. You just have to cross them out. It's pretty bad. Like, you just, like, go across your thing. Besides that, though, the pad is nice. It's really, once you get used to it, it's really, like, helpful at just, like, counting. Okay, we have Plittle on this turn. We're going to get this, and then almost always in this situation, I love getting Grape Shot here. They almost always just, or actually in this Yeah, when they're gonna kill our bear, we want to get Grape Shot instead of Wish. If they weren't gonna kill our, wait, hold up, we have to do math. So if we if we cast our pass, we go to 2, right? Then we go 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can. Okay, so the fact that we're getting 6 mana means that we can actually get Wish, because Wish will just give us another Storm. It's just diversity, and it'll give us another Storm. They'll also just do the same job of putting into the graveyards that we most likely get a Writ, which will be pretty nice. But let's say they do the worst case scenario for us, which is always not the rituals. So they're gonna give us Morphos Wish. I mean, they're gonna put Morphos. Oh yeah, they need to put Wish in Grave. So they're gonna give us. They're gonna put these 2 in Grave and give us these. Okay, that seems like the strat actually. Almost no one's really puts Wish into hand. They're not like. Yeah, they're almost never gonna do that. They don't know what's in your hands. You could be getting them. We'll go up to 3 red, no blue. Oh no. We have 2 mana floating, and this is still here. So we can actually just up to 3 red, 1 blue, 7 storm, 8 storm. Sorry, 8 storm. Metamorphose. Go up. When you Morphos, you almost always want to add blue, even if it gives you more blue than red. We're now at 3 blue, 2 red, 9 storm. We draw. This is like going all the way across the table. Sorry. We drew a Serum Visions. We now have 5 mana. We are going to let Burl die. Let this resolve. We're going to go to 8 mana. Pass in Flames. We're going to lose a blue here. And 3 red. So now we have 10 storm, 2 blue, 2 red. Pass in Flames has resolved. Writ puts us to up 1 red, 11 storm. So now Writs are just +1 storm and +1 mana. 4 red, 12 storm. 5 red, 13 storm. 6 red, 14. Wait, did I miss a click? Did I say 14 last time again? I might be nuts. If I said 14 last time, I'm crazy. It's now 14 storm. We technically want to add a blue here. 15 storm, draw. We'll say the same. 16 storm, draw. I mean, in this situation, we drew a bear. We could have played a bear like a little bit ago, and then had guaranteed it, but we don't really need to. This is from the graveyard. Sorry, no, I don't know why I put that there. 17 storm, draw. Now we have enough storm, right? Our graveyard is this. We have Remand in our graveyard. We have so much mana. How much is so much? We have 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 mana. Oh, that's 1 off. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is technically we have 17 storm. We can go one of these draw spells to 18 Wish Grape Shot, which is 6 mana. But if we had, let's say we played one of our bears from hand, we could do the line where we go Wish Grape Shot, with the Grape Shot on the stack, we remand it from our graveyard, which is over here, and then we cast the Grape Shot again from our hand. And then we could even cast it again from our graveyard if we had more mana with a Pass in Flames. But yeah. So this game is pretty guaranteed lethal. We beat them through a removal spell. That is the best way to play against a removal spell, guys, is literally, if you know they have it, do the Writ first or wait till you absolutely have to. Removal spells are not a very big of a problem in this deck. The biggest problem for this deck is an aggressive clock. I mean, we beat most of the combo decks just because our combo is so strong when uninteracted with. But the biggest problem with this deck is if they have a Rest in Peace or even a Dothy Voidwalker and a clock, it is very difficult to beat them. That's why the red-black deck is so difficult to beat, is because they just tear apart our hands. They have main deck Graveyard Hate that only goes up, and main deck removal where we kind of sit there being completely unable to do anything because We need to have a bunch of bears in our hands, and we need to have like so much. The deck is just such a problem, and they have like a clock. They play Ragavan, DRC, Torok can grow pretty efficiently when we're not killing it. Like when we don't interact with a Torok, they can turn to a Torok and then just watch us discard our hand. They have Kroxa that we don't really interact with. If that like gets escaped, it's a problem. Like we have a really bad matchup against those types of decks, the aggressive decks. We're gonna go over one more hand and call it a video for today. I'm gonna be playing tonight. I will remember some of my lines. Please, tell me if you want to have me post them. This is gonna be a mulligan. Actually, okay. So here's the thing, guys. We're gonna put ourselves in the same spot, right? We have 4 lands, right? 2 gifts, and a draw spell. We're gonna be on the draw for this game, like I said. So mulliganing is not as painful. Now, the reason we would not... This seems like a pretty quick mull, right? We don't have anything, really. We just mull. We don't even need 2 gifts. So here's the thing. Gifts can be something. If we're playing against a deck that we know does not put us on a clock, let's say blue-white control, for example, we will... Whoops, We will keep this hand against a blue-white control player. If we're not playing against blue-white control, or if it's game 1 and we don't know what we're playing against, we will mull this. Pretty simple. The reason we keep this against blue-white is to Gifts Ungiven on their end step. It's literally just to Gifts Ungiven on their end step. Ideally, we'll be able to find like a lot of the if we cast his Serum Visions and we like draw, if we found like one more piece like a Manamorphose, Ritual, Bear, something like that, we can gift. If we find a bear and we don't play the bear, you can do these cool lines where you like Gifts Ungiven, get like bear, and whatever else you want, and then they'll never give you the bears, even though they don't know you have a bear in hand. So they'll never give you bear. And then you just like destroy them because you got to pay 4 mana at instant speed to tutor out any 2 cards you want in your hand. That's pretty nuts combo. Half my deck just like went flying off the thing. Really not doing well shuffling today. I think it's because I'm talking while I'm shuffling, but that's okay. Also, even if you don't have bears, you can always get bear, and whatever the other 2 cards you want. Maybe like Ritz, just to up your mana. Some games, as you saw, we can win without ever bearing. I think that was game around the second hand I showed, where we just were able to like combo off of that bearing, which is pretty cool. So we will. That's always the thing. Gifts Ungiven is one of the most useful cards in the deck. If they play Blood Moon in response, you can gifts, or like Manamorphose gifts, and you can get Island, Snow-Covered Island. That's why we play the 2 different islands. You get Island, Snow-Covered Islands, and Morphos, and they have to give you a blue source. So if you do that and they tapped out for Blood Moon, you will be guaranteed a blue source, therefore allowing you to basically guarantee a win with them being tapped out and you have all your mana again, which is pretty cool. So you like have the mana to play your bear next turn, and they're like now tapped out. That's why this deck plays so many islands. We play 4 to be exact, which is like a couple more basics than a lot of decks might play. Alright, we're getting another hand here. We're on the draw. We've taken them all. Let's separate our hand again. Remand is a very interesting spot. In a lot of hands, I like it being here with the draw spells because it cycles itself. I'm going to put that here for now. Okay, so we are on the draw with a 1 land. It's not a red source. That's kind of a problem. This is the hand where we keep and we bottom Grape Shot. Not a second gift. This is a pretty close situation here where do we want to bottom our second Grape Shot, our second gifts, or a Grape Shot. With 2 gifts, we can pretty effectively tutor out Grape Shot. I'm not very worried about like not being able to storm off because Grape Shot's in our graveyard. This hand definitely can just cast 20 spells. So we also like have Remand here. We can get Wish if we want. This card's probably the least useful. We will put it to the bottom. Right, we're on the draw. Let's lay this out more efficiently for you guys. We'll draw for turn. Ooh, okay. We'll play an island on their end step. We'll consider. They're thinking we're blue-red control or something like that. We will top this. That's so close. Oh, that's so close. I think we top this here because if we draw a red source, we can ritual gifts and then get more rituals. We also have like a Remand next turn. I think we top this. It feels weird. We top draw. We untap. That's painful. We will pass. We will Remand something. Draw off the Remand. Untap. Draw off of turn. Cast Consider Sorcery Speed. Bottom this. We need to find a land. Draw not a land. Are you kidding me? Sometimes it goes like this, guys. I'm testing with a deck that I haven't, gone over. We'll pass draw. All right, so now we have a hope. I know it's like turn what at like 1 million or whatever. Actually, something like turn 4, isn't it? It's turn 4 and we cast our Remand. There's an argument that we probably will survive another turn just because we have this Remand here. So I kind of like passing again, seeing what our next card can be. We'll Remand their thread or whatever. Draw. That's kind of annoying. Untap. Draw. Repeal. So again, in the same spot, we're going to say, can they kill us through this repeal? The answer will almost always be no. We will play a repeal. Repeal can do a lot of things now. It bounces like DRC. We'll untap. Draw. All right. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. Repeal can bounce non-land permanents, so it can bounce hate cards if you need a gift for it from the main deck, but that again also costs like an insane amount of mana, and they can always put Repeal in graveyard, and then like Rest in Peace will like instantly exile it. So that's only like a last-ditch resort. That's more of a thing you want to dig to with like a Solemnity Vision or something like that. Alright. We drawn our cards. We're looking down at 5 mana. Ooh, it's turn 6, and we've got 5 mana. Let's go. It's all coming together now, guys. We don't have a bear. Like, for real? Oh. Well. Again, this might be a position where we're just going to go, like, not consider Serum Visions. Draw. Scry 2. Probably wanted to play land second, technically. Both bottom. If we have another turn, we will cast gifts in there. Well, let's say we have one more turn. Let's give ourselves one more turn, guys. There's no point in just saying we lose, although we most likely will, even through 2 Remands and a Repeal. Like, there's got to be something that can kill us by now. But we will gifts. We just didn't draw very well, is the problem with that. Although I really don't like saying that. Sometimes that's the truth. It is what it is. Alright, here's what I wanted to talk about, guys. We have a Pyretic Ritual, not a Desperate Ritual in our hand. So that's kind of annoying. Okay. So here's the situation where we actually might want to get Bear. We're going to guarantee Rituals in our hands, and we can try and go for like a Wish type of like thing. I actually really like that. Okay, so we're going to do this. They if they give us Bear, we will have if they give us like Bear instead of Rit, we can like pretty easily play like around the removal spell with this much mana and beat them, like totally beat them in this situation. So they actually it is the smart way. It is a smart thing to not give us the bears, because if they give us bears, we like totally destroy them. So Bear's Grave. Where's the hand? We untap. Consider. If you have a tap land, don't play it till you keep going your combo. Morphos draws cards. I've been saved by lands off the top many times. Alright. So, we got a lot of writs. We have 5 mana. Okay. We can go writ to 6. Let's just take these out of our hand. Usually these will be in your hand. You can kind of literally put them on the board like this, counting in your head: 6, 7, 8 mana. Then we can go. We need 4 for the past, right? So we can go Morphos, obviously, still 8. Technically, we can probably go gifts. Get No, they would need to give us Rit for that. We can't do that. Well, we have 8 mana. This feels pretty awkward. We can't go Wish here because we're 1 mana off. We consider. If we hit a land, that'd be kind of. No, wouldn't do anything. Ideally, we surveil a card, like a Storm card, into our grave. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so 5 Storm. Still now 7 mana, I guess. We're counting our lands. 7 mana total, right? Then we're going to go 3 to past. From the grave, we 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 3. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, what are you? You're still a red. You're the Morphos. All right. So that makes. So let's flip these over because I just realized that that's kind of difficult to understand. We're like you literally can just do this. Right. We can almost always. How much storm is this from this being flashbacked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 storm. We have our mana in our graveyard, do we not? Okay, how much mana do we get? I think we said 8, right? So we got a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 storm. Or 7 mana. So it depends on what we draw, guys. But we do have Remand in our grave. We do have a Wish. We can do like the Remand Wish. Like Remand Grapeshot. Wish Grapeshot Remand costs 7. To Grapeshot again, it costs 9. So our outs would be having drawn. We have 2 draws off the Morphos and a Surveil draw off the Consider. Twice, basically, if you want it to be. 7 mana. I guess it'll make it 6 mana. So we can, in this situation, we get goblins. Let's see what we drew, actually. We draw first. Well, now we have 8 mana. Then we Surveil, Graveyard, draw. Oh. Now we draw off the flashback one. But in this situation, we would have actually played Goblin Electromancer. I probably should have drawn first. I like doing it undeterministically. If we didn't have it, we go. We have 8 mana here. Let's say. Well, not let's say. That's what we have. And our storm will be like 15 or something. We can just like literally repeal like a card from the graveyard and then like no, we need 8, so it'll be like 1 more mana where we can go like Serum Visions, see what we find. So we'll play Consider actually. No, Consider won't work after now because the Past and Flame's already resolved, so this won't like give the card we get flashback. We'll like Serum Visions, we go to 7, draw, scry 2, both bottom. And then we can like Wish Goblins with 7. This is again with Goblinomancer here. We win this game on the spot. We're trying to play around how we wouldn't. Gifts Ungiven wouldn't really put us in a good spot. We'd probably end up not getting anything from this turn. So yeah, we're gonna go Wish Goblins. I think for 7 mana. If we don't have the game, so here's the thing: Wish Goblins will almost always win the game. It'll block for the turn that we need it to block, and then just swing, and then block, and then swing for lethal almost always. If we have like 10, 15, whatever. If we want to get something else, like if we can almost always just get Relay if they're not putting a clock on us. Relay here will guarantee us a combo off next turn, basically. With this hand, where we have like Passive Flames will still be in our grave. We'll still have like Remands in our grave. We'll be able to like Relay for like, what was it, like 15? Actually, top 15 cards. Besides that, it's a pretty easy, just like empty the warrens, make like literally 30 goblins. What can you do about 30 goblins, opponent? If you have lethal in the air, then we have to like Grapeshot. We'd like get Grapeshot with the Wish, Grapeshot their flyer and their face, or like, yeah, that's basically it. We Grapeshot their flyer and whatever, like all like, you know, if we have 15 storm, we'll do like 3 or 4 of their flyer and the rest of their face, or if they have Murktide, we can Echoing Truth it. But it's most likely still actually going to be good to just Grapeshot it out and maybe like a 1-drop or whatever that they have on the board and deal like 5 or whatever to their face. Then we can put ourselves in a position where like we're down a Wish, but next turn we have like a bunch of mana, a Gobblemancer, and a Past, and a gift still. So we'll still be able to like draw a card. We have like a bunch of mana. We play our bear. We play it like we can almost always get this game here. Bear, 3, 2 left. What's this? Oh, it'll be weird. You know how many Writs? There's a line. You could like, it's weird. We'll go over that in another video, I think. Because this will take, I'll literally sit here like, I can kind of sense that there's a line that exists, but this video has been an hour and 10 minutes, and I don't think you guys need to sit here watching me think of a line for the next 15 minutes. So we'll pack this up. This shows how this deck is like versatile as heck. A lot of times you have semi-deterministic lethal where it's like if I draw a land or a rid or anything that gains me 1 mana, I can get this game, which is like literally like a third of your deck at least. It's like half your deck in almost every situation because you like your deck is like 20 lands. So, like and you have like a bunch of draws, sometimes even more, like not just Morphosis, sometimes you get like visions for rituals, or not visions, but sometimes you get like a Serum Visions, or you should get a lot of Morphos draws and stuff. So that's nice. You can even gifts for lands. I've done that before in games. I'll go to my Tuesday Night Modern at my local game store. Shout out Next Gen Games LA. Gonna go over there, gonna play some Storm. Tell you guys how it goes if you want me to. I would love to do it in the Discord server. I'll start a channel. We'll call it Learning and Storming or something funny that I will think of. And that'll be it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Let's make the webcam come back up. Look at my beautiful face. I look like Abraham Lincoln. And that's not in a good way. Abraham Lincoln looked cool. We're not gonna stop. Abraham Lincoln looks cool. I don't. I have this weird stuff on my face. But I'll be at Tuesday Night Modern. I'll tell you guys how this goes, and I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for all the support. I loved it. I was in school and I looked down at the email that said, you got this comment, and I read the comment, and I just my face was just pure smiles, even at school. The hell that is school. You really make my day. Thank you for the subscriptions. The video popped off compared to my rest of my videos, and I love you all. I hope you all benefit from this deck tech. And you don't need Ragavans. What you do need is a Grave Shot for 20. Get on it. Learn how to play this deck. Learn how to play this. So fun, so rewarding, so skill rewarding. So many lines there. You can goldfish for hours a day. You can learn so much. It's a time waster and also just something that you can do with your time. Love to do it. So fun to play this deck. I can keep saying this over and over again. I will not. I'll say it again in another video. I'll say it in all my videos. This deck is so fun to play. I will see you guys later.